So what we're going to look at is Andrew Smolnikar's book, True Republicanism. Smolnikar was involved with Etzler. Etzler was developing this perpetual motion machine, basically, a machine that would do everything for us, from shucking your corn to sewing, all forms of labor. So this would give us lots of free time. Well, I'm going to read this to you. Joseph Smith interferes with Smolnikar's development of Etzler's machine by killing a friend of Smolnikar through the instrumentality of a cow. And this was about a month after Joe was dead. So rather than try to explain this, I'm going to take you right to Andrew Smolnikar's own words. Now I have to say a word about Smolnikar. He's almost impossible to read. He's worse than trying to read James Joyce and Proust at the same time. His sentences are just astonishing. But we're going to struggle through it, and I'm not going to do a bunch of takes on it because it's just impossible. So we're going to pick this up where Smolnikar has met George Karl, who's going to repair the errors in the Etzler machine, and something happens. Here we go. How the mistakes made by Etzler should be corrected and the machine should be put in operation. George Karl, a young lame shoemaker, a sincere seeker after truth, and a firm believer in our mission, was the man to whom the mystery was revealed, that mystery being how to repair the Etzler machine. And he has explained at our meeting the matter in such a manner that those who were most opposed have at length been convinced, after having heard his explanation how Etzler's mistake should be repaired, that he had received a true revelation and agreed that he should be the director in rebuilding Etzler's machine to make a new trial. But before this had been done, he was brought into the Allegeny River and drowned by the instrumentality of the departed Mormon prophet Joe Smith, not directly, but indirectly, by the instrumentality of a cow. But a week after that, on the 30th of July, 1844, the same destroying spirit Joe Smith was allowed to attack me directly, to show how he would be able to kill a man in a minute if he would be permitted. But he was seized by my guardian and cast into combustible matter, which was by his infernal electricity instantly kindled. George Karl was permitted to be destroyed because the time for establishing our center has not yet arrived. And Karl had an important mission in the spirit world, and in that great mission he continues to be engaged. It is to be understood that the given hints regarding Joe Smith would need a peculiar treatise. I did not know him personally in his mortal body, but urged preachers of his sect to move him to meet me, either in a written correspondence or personally, to learn to know his dreadful delusion. The same time, I published in The One Thing Needful and urged his elders to send him an English copy of that volume, which, as readers of this book know, has been translated from the German into English. But in that year, matters did not yet arrive for maturity for the conversion of Mormon apostles and elders. Their infernal president had to show how his army had the power to prevent my starting the center of our operation. But that my meeting with the departed Joe Smith occasioned my meeting with the mortal Brigham Young, while he was yet in Nauvoo. But although I preached to him and his disciples the judgment dispensation, they were not yet mature to be converted. And my manuscripts, in which dreadful mysteries of the Mormon spiritualism are developed, must wait to be published. when nations will be prepared to read so important disclosures. I have given here some hints of my experience at and after the trial of Etzler's Machine, by the means of which so much regarding the inner life of man and the spirit world and the dreadful condition of mankind has been disclosed, that volumes would be needed to explain it. This guy. So you can read the rest of this and the pages just prior. So this is a smattering of Smolnikar. It's also important to know that he's into spiritualism and heavily into rapping spirits. He lets people know that you can't imitate his mom because he knows his mom's rap, so to speak. He wasn't into ebonics. He understood rapping in a different sense. So this book is replete with this phenomenon as well. So you can get Smolnikar right off of Google. You can download it. You can read all about him. Now I'm going to show you sort of a spiritual smackdown between Smolnikar and another unknown spiritualist who claims to know what his mom looks like in the spirit world and what